We got an intro for that. So let us move on.
Can they hear us being thirsty?
I just need to be thirsty, and we're back. And I'm thirsty. So today's water cooler is Star Wars Visions. All 9 episodes of Star Wars Visions have dropped on Disney Plus, and Star Wars has never looked better. The new Star Wars anime anthology shows off the work of some of the hottest talent in anime with fresh new takes on the galaxy far, far away. 7 different studios have participated in making Star Wars Visions 9 episodes, and each story tells a completely different story, which means the potential for innovation is high. What do you guys thought so far? Kelly?
I am in love with Visions. I still need to watch the last 2 episodes. I'm gonna own that. I know we said we get it all done. I didn't quite get it all done. I need to watch the last 2 episodes, but I am really, really in love with it. I think it's really, really funny to laugh at white men on the internet complaining that there's too much Japanese influence in Star Wars. First of all, that's funny all the way around.
Hilarious.
It's the whole point of Star Wars is the Japanese influence, but that's fine.
Yeah.
2, I really, really love all of the different perspectives that we're getting. I think some of them, we'll touch on this a little bit later, I think some of them do it a little bit better than others. But one of my favorite things about Star Wars is the lore and how much background possibility there is. And I feel like Visions does a great job exploring that without having to go into too many of the basically the Charizards of Star Wars, the people, we're going to put it in a show and it's going to make money, it's going to be fine. We don't have to get into Luke and Leia and all of their bullshit. We can just go into lore and have a great time. I really love that.
Mandalorian.
Lore.
Let's go.
Sorry, I just...
No, sorry. You up there.
You feel really good about it.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I am shamelessly proud of that joke. All right. First off, my episode still is favorite episode is probably the first episode. And I left off right where you did, Nelly. I still have the last 2 episodes to watch, but it's phenomenal so far. That first episode was crazy. Just the animation style, this kind of the story that was going on there. And mind you, these are only 15 minutes long on average. And that's what's crazy about it. They just go it feels like they tell so much in such a short amount of time that it feels longer than what it is. But yeah, and that to me is also pretty cool. When the chick with I forget her name, but she had the fucking lightsaber umbrella and was twirling around. It's
that shit was fucking cool.
She ran up on this mysterious stranger who you saw in the beginning. It's I've never killed a Jedi before, and he unhilt or basically cocks the sword, if you will, and it flashes red, and she's yeah,
I'm no Jedi.
It's you thought. So but as far as my thoughts are concerned, it's great. All 9 I've seen them all 9 stories are really, really good. They obviously I have favorites. I have them already ranked in order. I'm a nerd like that. But I like the endless ways Star Wars can continue. If they literally developed these 9 stories, we have so much Star Wars left. Just these 9, because they're all completely different, and I love it. So favorite episode and why? Kev, you've already said that your favorite is the first episode, so we'll go with Nelly. What is your favorite episode?
My favorite episode so far is The Seventh Jedi. I absolutely love the storytelling that they did visually with the color, especially looking at the color of the lightsabers. It's actually a huge question that I had in the Star Wars universe in the background, because it touches on the fact that the art of lightsabers were lost for so long, and what does that mean to continue? How do we get back into Jedis? What does that look like? I think that's absolutely my favorite. I think it had the best plot twists, and the animation to it was really unique. In a lot of the other ones, I found myself comparing the animation style to another anime, and I felt this felt uniquely like a Star Wars animation in a way that I hadn't seen in some of the other episodes. Yeah. What did you think, Zach?
I can feel that. I respect that. That's number I believe that's number 3 on my list. And my favorites, and because I got 2, I couldn't decide. So it's 1A and 1B. It's the very first episode, like Kevin says, the duel, and the 7th episode, the elder. Those episodes, first off, I'm all about the Japanese culture. So there's that. Let's get it out of the way. So the the action in both of them were great, but they were 2 completely different stories, but they hit different points. Where you have the Ronin in the first episode, who's basically at this point really bounty hunting Sith. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which was really, really cool and protecting people, even though he was, I'm going to just assume, a Sith himself at one point, but then decided to say, you know what, bump this, I'm going to do my own thing and kill off these Sith because I'm tired of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm no Jedi, but I'm damn sure not a Sith no more. And then we move on to the Elder, where you have the Elder who was a Sith, but is still hella evil and just going off. And you see the relationship with the Jedi Master and his Padawan. Like, that was actually really, really cool, the dynamic there. And then like when the Padawan went off and he fought the Elder, and the Master was like, Dan, don't. And like I said, you need to retreat like through the Force, you know what I mean? And then he felt when Dan got cut down, you know what I'm saying? Spoiler. And then like he went to go, handle that, you know what I mean? It was just, I love it. So Kev, anything else you want to give?
That was actually my second favorite one too. I think it was really cool, and I think because it reminded me of a lot of like some of my favorite, like mostly because of the animation style. Like it reminded me of a lot of like Naruto and mostly Naruto actually. Like like when the Elder made that first step, like when him at the Padawan, I was like, oh, this is like it was just chef's kiss. Yeah,
it was beautiful. Yeah, I agree totally. So with all that being said, anybody got any beef with it so far, Kev?
If I have to find beef, like nothing on the surface. I'm guessing my only beef is, continuity. Like, but I think it's meant to be, this sort of ethereal where it's like they're not gonna tell the story over and over again of one particular episode in an anthology. But that's it. But that's also kind of nice too, So I don't. So far, I think it's really good.
Wonderful. What about you, Nelly?
I have one beef. One, and it's related to my least favorite episode, and it's I think kind of indicative to some of the storytelling tropes that some episodes used. I'll say some used, not all of them did, and I think the ones that didn't are the ones we all pointed out as our faves. And it's I think it's the Village's Bride. It's the one I call it Pokemon Sun and Moon. It looks like they're a Lola episode. Like that's what it looks like to me. And it's because the beginning of the episode and the end of the episode feel so different. The beginning of the episode was something I really, really loved. It got into the lore of how other people use the Force. Like, we know that the Jedi are basically a religious institution. They bring people in, all of that. But this felt more like an indigenous group who wanted to separate themselves from the Jedi and all of the like religious institution that was, and they talked about like how they viewed the Force, how it connected them to their land and their planet, and they felt in sync with that. And then about 5 minutes into the episode, they just abandoned all of that, and then it was just a 10 minutes of a fighter episode. And I'm like, these are both cool, but they're very different. And I felt like they just fell into a trap of like classic Star Wars good guy versus bad guy evil thing, and that's my one beef. I didn't enjoy that. I wish we could have kept going with the first part of that episode.
No, that's completely fair. That episode, the Village Bride, that fell in at number 6 of 9 for me. There were others. My favorites were the 5 that I had, and then the next one was that episode was lit. I understand where you're coming from that perspective, or from an action perspective. when her high heels unhinged and she dashed at my man like Captain Coochie from Bleach, I about shit
It
myself.
was pretty
Like,
good
it was
on the action
amazing.
side.
Like, it was fantastic. Like, I was
Yeah.
ready. I was ready. But as far as beef, I don't have any. Like, really, like, it is what it is. Um, eh, I can't call it beef. It's kind of just a personal preference. Like, because I like story. I
Mhm.
like things to be more than what they are. I have a problem with things ending. There's things that I have not watched the end of because of that problem I have, which is unfortunate. But for what it is, these bite-sized pieces of the show, it's it's just great. So
Yeah.
segueing on to the worst episode and why, and Nelly, for you, I believe you've covered, and you covered in detail why you didn't care
Felt
for
some
that
type of way. I
episode.
did.
You did there. Yeah, what about you? Worst episode for you?
If I had to pick one, it'd either be uh that one, the one that Nelly just named, or the Astro Boy one.
Toby.
Apt description.
The
Yeah.
TOB one.
I mean, because it was, I mean, and I kind of have like it's like somewhat fondness, I guess, for Astro Boy, and I get what they were trying to do there, but it was like at times it just kind of it was annoying at sometimes. Just to say that. Yeah.
I'm looking here. Bruce Bain put Star Wars meets Steven Universe. That was
Yes. Yes.
fantastic.
That's a niche I'm into.
I would have to agree. The TOBI B1 episode was probably my least favorite of them all. I still enjoyed it, but
I just
it
felt
was
like they were trying to force me to connect to the character. You know
right.
what I
No,
mean?
no.
Like that's what it felt like. Give me a chance first. But they were just like it felt like they were shoving it in my face. I was like, okay,
Can I
I
give you
get it.
something? It was less
Yeah.
authentic because he was a droid.
Well, it's not even that. Like I don't know if it's maybe like a time. I guess it's like a time constraint. But like I could feel empathetic towards like a sentient droid. Just give me some time. Don't make me have to.
Edie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's some droids I have mad love for. There's some droids I'm definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Okay.
love
I'm like, you
BB.
could be my bestie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of it kind of felt like Mega Man-y, like a little bit like when he was going forward when he was fighting the Sith. Like that was it was cool, but it was like it was my least favorite. It
Yeah.
just didn't have the personality, if you will. And I'm not saying it because he's a droid, but like it's just the episode itself didn't fulfill me like the other ones did. Even
Yeah.
like the number 8 on my list is, I believe, oh my god, man, it's I can't think of it right now. But even that one, whatever that one was,
Yeah.
that's funny, right? Had
feel
more
like this-
feeling than the Toby one. That's just me.
I feel like this take's gonna not age well when AI robots start
Nope.
gaining
We're
consciousness.
we're gonna cast
And-
that down right now.
And that's why I want to rescind my favorite episode and tell everyone that I personally love my new corporate droid overlords. I think they are doing a great job. Jeffrey Bezos, if you are hearing this, your Amazon robots, so good to me. So good to me. I love them. I always say please and thank you to my Alexa. Always.
Yeah, same.
There you
Mhm.
go. I mean, of
There you
course
go.
he's hearing. This is Twitch, and they're owned by good old Amazon. That's fantastic. Okay, so what would you rate it so far? Is it a must watch, background noise, or is it just just skip it? How do you feel about that, Nelly?
I think 100% a must watch, and I will give an asterisk to my ADHD users. Don't think you can watch this halfway, because you're going to want to rewatch the episodes, and that's how you won't finish the last two. You cannot TikTok and watch this show, because it goes
No.
really fast. Yeah.
Yes.
Must watch, but actually literally watch. Like, you have to look at
Yeah.
the TV to do it.
Agreed. What about you, Kev?
No, I also agree. I think this is for sure a must watch. It doesn't take that much time either. Like you can blow through it in like a couple, I don't know the math, 15 times 10. whatever that equates to in hours.
It's like 2+. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched it. I watched it all in one sitting, and it's a nice little sit and watch, but it keeps you entertained because of the different stories. So I'd have to throw it in the must watch category. It's a great piece of content. The different aspects, the different animation, the different creators, the different storylines, and it's Star Wars. It doesn't feel like it's anything else. It feels like it's Star Wars, just made a little bit differently. And I appreciate that. So that's where I'm at with that. Well, that'll wrap it up for the first half of our show. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're diving deep in this week's deep dive of what is a gamer and 10 games you should be playing right now in this week's Top 10. So stick around. A lot more sure coming at you in 5. We out of this thing. A quick shout out to our sponsors. You know what it is. We'll see you in 5.